As the firestorm continues over what was said following their first meeting, U.S. President Trump is tweeting today about his next encounter with Russian President Putin. Trump writing, "The summit with Russia was a great success, except with the real enemy of the people, the fake news media. I look forward to our second meeting so that we can start implementing some of the many things discussed, including stopping terrorism, security for Israel, nuclear proliferation, cyber attacks, trade, Ukraine, Middle East peace, North Korea, and more. There are many answers, some easy and some hard, to these problems, but they can all be solved." Well, for more on this, let's bring in Lauren Gambino. She's a political correspondent with The Guardian. Good to have you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Lauren, let me first ask you about this, because this Russian summit continues to dog the president. From between walkbacks and clarifications and brand new interviews, it doesn't seem to be clear at all where his position is.
No, he's changed his position so many times, but this is, in a funny way, consistent with what he's done for the past year and a half. He's repeatedly cast doubt on the Russian, the community, intelligence community's conclusion that Russia meddled in the U.S. election, and then later clarified that. That seems to be exactly what he's doing now. The biggest difference, of course, is that he stood on a stage next to Vladimir Putin and did not attempt to hold the Russian leader accountable.
Yeah, and Sarah Sanders was asked about that in the White House press briefing yesterday, that why didn't he hold the Russian president to account publicly, saying something. She said he did hold him to account, but in other ways, like sanctions and things like that, didn't satisfy the media. How serious is it this time? Like you mentioned, he's walked things back, tried to clarify other issues, been in trouble over other issues, Charlottesville being one of them. How much more serious is it this time?
This feels like a new level for this president, just because this being strong on Russia was an issue that did pretty much galvanize the Republican Party, which he is the leader of at the moment. And so now he's really, he's caused the Republican Party he's forced them to come out and really strongly rebuke his performance. So I think in that sense, he is facing a lot of heat here in Washington from his own party. But at the same time, polls are now starting to come out showing Republican supporters, not lawmakers, felt that he did, he represented the U.S. Perfectly fine, perfectly well in this visit to Helsinki. So if his supporters stand by him, then you will see a lot of pressure on Republicans to also stand by him.
Yeah, the all-important base. Let's take a look at this, because Time magazine has released its new cover today, and it's kind of a morphing image between the two leaders, beginning with Vladimir Putin, of course, and then it slowly but surely morphs into President Trump. I'm not sure if we're going to see that, but it does over time. But it certainly shows the fact that whether or not he keeps his base, whether or not the Republicans then rally behind him, it does show that this is going to be an issue that is not going to go away. And now the president is talking about perhaps a second summit, or at least a second meeting.
I think that Time magazine cover, as eerie as it is, it really underscores just the ongoing sense of drama around the relationship. I mean, now you have Democratic leaders openly asking, what does the Russian president have on our president? This performance was so stunning and so startling that it couldn't be anything else. And I think this is sort of a line of attack that we haven't seen Democratic leaders, at least, completely embrace. So now you're sort of seeing, what is the genesis of this affinity for Vladimir Putin? Since when has a U.S. president ever, sort of embraced the Russian president in such a way? So certainly, I think that Time magazine cover really gets at that question.
Interesting. Laura Gambino, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.